this mean, winning this award?
It was a surprise, and I just think special to me. It's humbling to me, just because there's so many good nurses. Like you said, it's a whole team, and to be singled out is very special to me. That people appreciate your time and your effort, and those things. That's important.
But you've been in the business for 40?
A nurse for 42 years, and a nurse's aide for some years before that. So
That's a lot of patience.
it is a lot of
Patience both ways, spelling it patience and then having patience.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
What do you think about when you think about those 46 years?
Oh my gosh, it's gone so fast, and you think of how many people that you've cared for and gotten to know. I think we work in a small community, so it's our neighbors and our friends, and you develop relationships with people from all those people that you meet, and that's amazing to me. That's a special part of our care too.
How hard is it when it's somebody that's close to you that you're taking care of?
That's hard too. It's very hard, but sometimes it's good because you feel like you can do something to help them, or even if they're dying, I think you're there for them, and that means a lot to the family too, especially if you know them, that somebody they know is there caring for their loved one too.
And during the COVID years?
Yes. OB is a little, like I said, we don't have so many COVID patients. I did take care, they try to keep OB people kind of out of the sick people, so not so many, but occasionally in a small hospital you still get to go take care of. So I've taken care of some sick people that were dying too. And OB patients generally, if they had COVID, a whole different experience. You deliver in a separate room, you stay in the room, no visitors. That was what was crazy, no siblings to come and visit. The good thing about that was you got to spend lots of time with your patient because they had no distractions, no visitors, no anything. So that part was really good. But you feel bad for the families that they couldn't come and visit. And dads would have to come and stay and not leave. They had to stay the whole while the patient was there until they went home. If they left, they couldn't come back. They had to just meet the wife at the door and go from there. So
Wow.
just kind of, we've had families come to the windows to look in the windows from the outside. We put numbers on the outside of our windows so that they knew which room was their family, so they could peek in the room, bring their dog, older people, so that they could see.
You're different from the other ones in that you kind of are a jack of all trades. You have to be able to work in any area of the hospital, right?
Right.
Do you like that kind of variety, or do you say, oh, I wish I could be like this one and I just specialize and this is all I do?
No, I love the variety, actually. I do OB most of the time, but I love taking care of new surgical patients that come back. I do that fairly frequently because, again, they like to keep us out of the infectious room. So I take care of surgical patients a lot. That's one of the things I do. New knees, new hips, those kind of patients.
And with more than 1,100 babies.
That I've been at birth for. I've taken care of probably lots more than that, but just wasn't there at delivery time.
Who can say that?
I know, it's amazing to me. It's so fun, and I still, every time a baby's born, I get tears in my eyes. It's still, it's such an important part in your family's time.
It's still a miracle.
It is, every time I see it, and the family, it's such an important time in your life, when you have a baby. So just to be able to be part of those special times is amazing.
I asked Deb, at the time that she went into this profession, there weren't a lot of options for women.
No.
And I'm assuming it's the same for you as well.
Yes.
Why nursing? Why not teaching? Why not one of those other professions that they would throw out there and say, maybe this is something you can do?
I couldn't be a teacher. I mean, I teach class. I teach prenatal class, and I teach those kind of classes, but I don't know, teacher wasn't my thing. I was a nurse's aide. I think that's what sparked my interest. My grandma was a nurse's aide, and I got to work with her a few years, and I think that sparked my interest and knew that that's kind of what I wanted to do. So,
when you look back, what advice would you have given yourself when you were just starting out? Now looking back and all that you've been able to do, what would you say?
New girls coming out, I tell, go get your BSN right away. When I got out of school, that wasn't so important. I went to St. Luke's, which is a 3-year diploma school. Great school, lots of the job experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But nowadays I would tell people to go get your degree right away so that you have it, or go to, work on that. But my career, I just think I loved OB, and so I think I worked in a small hospital where I got to try it a little bit in Akron. It was the smallest hospital in Iowa, I think, until it closed, and then that's when I went to Lamar's. But I don't know. I think.
Do you need to be a special type of person to be a nurse?
I think you have to have some. You have to have some caring, and you have to care about people and be able to care for people. Not everybody. My husband says I wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, I think it does take a certain type. A lot of studying. It's hard. The work to get there and get your degree is hard work. It is, and I think you work hard as a nurse. You 12-hour shifts. Got to have some stamina. I just have a new knee. I'm still on medical leave because I got a new knee, so I'm only 5 weeks out. So
how were you as a patient?
I think I was a good patient. I appreciate. They're my coworkers, that I work with all the time, and so you appreciate. You know where they're coming from, and you appreciate, and you tell them thank you, and that you appreciate what they do for you.
Is that something that we don't do enough? We don't say thank you?
A lot of people say thank you. I will say a lot of my patients are very gracious. People are gracious for the most part.
For the most part.
Yes.
You haven't met Bruce, right?
You make our lives exciting. That's good, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
And all kinds, so many different personalities, and that's what's fun about nursing too. You meet all kinds of people from all over, and if you just take time to visit a little bit and get to know them, I think it just gives it a personal touch that you care about them and what they're doing and what's going on in their lives. And
That's so nice.